SpaceX is rapidly advancing its Starship program, preparing for Starship Flight 8 soon after Flight 7. This marks a notable contrast to Blue Origin's slower development pace for its New Glenn rocket. The FAA's streamlined launch license for Starship Flight 7, incorporating damage exception clauses, paves the way for a potential quick turnaround, potentially enabling Flight 8 as early as mid-February or early March. This swift schedule suggests SpaceX prioritizes speed and efficiency in its production and testing processes. Key components like Super Heavy Booster 15 are undergoing crucial cryogenic stress tests, a testament to SpaceX's focus on ensuring structural integrity under demanding launch conditions. Simultaneously, Starship 34, the second Block 2 ship, is in the crucial engine installation and testing phase, including static fire tests, propellant loading simulations, and deorbit burn simulations. These steps collectively point towards a significant milestone in Starship development and a potential leap forward in the space industry. The pace of testing and preparations across all fronts showcases SpaceX's commitment to rapid advancement. In stark contrast to SpaceX's rapid progress, Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket faces significant delays. New Glenn has remained on the launch pad for over 2 months, with limited progress reported. The lack of updates and confirmed testing milestones, coupled with the silence from Blue Origin regarding their schedule, raises concerns about potential setbacks. While Blue Origin executives have expressed confidence in New Glenn's launch timeline, the lack of concrete updates and progress reports creates uncertainty. This lack of transparency and the absence of publicly announced milestones stand in stark contrast to SpaceX's more active and transparent communication strategy. The situation regarding New Glenn highlights potential challenges in executing a complex space launch project, even for established companies with considerable resources. The extended timeframe and apparent lack of consistent updates make Blue Origin's future launch plans uncertain. This disparity in development timelines underscores the intense competition and challenges faced by space companies as they pursue ambitious launch programs. SpaceX is meticulously preparing for Starship Flight 7, a crucial step in the program. This involves rigorous testing and adherence to all regulatory requirements. Ship 33, the primary vehicle for Flight 7, has undergone a series of crucial engine tests, including spin prime, propellant loading, and static fire tests. These tests are essential for validating upgrades, particularly the new engine plumbing system, and ensuring the vehicle's readiness for launch. Simultaneously, Booster 14 is nearing completion of its engine testing and is positioned for integration into the launch sequence. Logistics and preparations at the launch site are equally crucial, including refurbishment, the integration of new storage tanks, and necessary cryogenic plumbing modifications. These multifaceted preparations demonstrate a meticulously planned approach to achieving the Flight 7 mission objectives, a critical milestone in the Starship program. The detailed testing and logistical planning showcase SpaceX's dedication to ensuring the success of this major mission. The focus on thorough preparations for the launch and the testing of various components underscore the significance of this critical juncture in the project's timeline. United Launch Alliance, ULA, is facing delays in the certification process for its Vulcan rocket, potentially impacting its launch schedule. The U.S. Space Force has cited ongoing technical evaluations and data requirements as the reason for delaying the first national security mission. The certification process, a crucial hurdle for launching government payloads, is proving more complex than anticipated. This process necessitates a thorough technical evaluation to ensure the rocket's readiness for carrying sensitive national security payloads. A recent anomaly involving one of the solid rocket boosters, SRBs, during a certification flight has further complicated matters. The loss of nozzle parts on one booster, while not halting the test flight, requires further investigation and potential modifications to prevent future issues. This situation, combined with the ongoing government evaluation, likely impacts the planned launch schedule for Vulcan and any future missions. ULA is engaging closely with the government to address the issues and expedite the certification process. The delay underscores the stringent requirements for launching national security missions. Resolution of this issue is critical to maintaining ULA's role in critical space missions. ULA's 2025 launch schedule, while ambitious, is contingent on payload availability. The schedule includes missions using both Atlas V and Vulcan rockets, with Vulcan slightly outpacing Atlas V in the mission count. However, delays in payload readiness can significantly impact launch timelines. This is a common challenge for launch providers, as they are the final link in the chain of readiness for the mission. If satellite launches are delayed, the launch date of the rockets is often shifted to the subsequent year. ULA is therefore managing a complex schedule, balancing competing demands and various payload readiness timelines. The company is carefully navigating a schedule that could be impacted by delays from various points in the launch chain, demonstrating a practical approach in managing an ambitious launch plan. While the overall goal remains a busy year of missions, the reality of potential delays linked to payload availability underscores the complexity of managing a demanding launch schedule in the space industry. This highlights the intricate coordination and logistical challenges inherent in launching missions with various payloads. The competition in the space launch industry is intense, with both SpaceX and ULA facing both successes and challenges. SpaceX's rapid advancement in Starship technology contrasts with Blue Origin's progress on New Glenn. This competition extends beyond technological advancements to encompass significant geopolitical considerations. The development of a global satellite internet system, as exemplified by Starlink and potential competitors, highlights the increasing importance of space-based infrastructure. This competition also underscores the need for nations to develop robust space capabilities to support their national interests and maintain global influence. The potential for these technologies to be used in military applications adds further weight to the competition, emphasizing the strategic significance of space capabilities. The race to achieve dominance in the space launch industry will play an increasingly vital role in national and global affairs, influencing economic development, military readiness, and the global connectivity of the future. The successes and setbacks of these companies reflect the complex interplay of technological innovation and geopolitical strategy within the space industry. Elon Musk wants the FAA to let SpaceX conduct more Starship tests in 2025. The proposal from Musk, the billionaire founder and CEO of the commercial space transportation company, would quintuple the flight tests of the massive SpaceX megarocket from 5 demonstrations in 2024 to 25 next year. Though Musk's request would need approval from federal regulators, it comes as the tech mogul's influence over U.S. policy is likely to grow when President-elect Donald Trump takes office in January. SpaceX envisions the powerful spacecraft being a fully reusable transportation system that can carry both humans and cargo to Earth's orbit, the Moon, and even Mars. Musk has sought to aggressively develop and test the Starship rocket, even as NASA has since delayed the Moon mission for which it would be used by at least another year. Here's everything to know about SpaceX's Starship plans and what increased testing may mean. The Federal Aviation Administration issued a launch license for the next Starship flight test on December 17th, clearing the way for SpaceX to once again launch the world's largest rocket from South Texas. But while SpaceX is rapidly preparing for its flight test, the company has not yet announced a target date for the launch. In recent days, SpaceX has shared photos of the Starship vehicle being prepared at the Starbase facility in Boca Chica near Brownsville, Texas. The FAA, which licenses commercial rocket launches, issued the green light as SpaceX's Starship has been undergoing engine tests to check the flight readiness of its 7th Starship, composed of both a spacecraft and Super Heavy rocket booster. SpaceX looks to increase Starship tests in 2025. SpaceX launched just 1 Starship flight test in 2023, before increasing the demos to 5 in 2024, with the final one of the year taking place in November. But that's nothing compared to what Musk hopes to accomplish in 2025. The tech billionaire has requested FAA approval to ramp up Starship flight tests to 25 launches next year, as he plans to move his entire rocket-building operation from California to South Texas. Before the FAA can make a ruling on SpaceX licensing, the federal agency is soliciting public input on SpaceX's proposal and hosting 5 public meetings in January, 4 in Texas and 1 live-streamed on January 13. SpaceX must also satisfy all safety, environmental, and other regulatory requirements before the FAA will approve the increase in operations, the agency said in a statement to USA Today. SpaceX clashes with FAA over regulations, fines. SpaceX has found itself at odds with the FAA in recent months over regulations that the company has vocally criticized. In September, the FAA announced a proposal to hit SpaceX with $633,009 in civil penalties for what the agency claims were failures by the company to follow license requirements ahead of 2 separate launches last year. In response, Musk took to his social media site X to indicate his plans to sue the agency for regulatory overreach. News of the proposed fines came on the heels of the FAA briefly grounding SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket following a fiery landing mishap on an otherwise successful orbital satellite delivery. Musk has routinely taken aim at federal regulators, both for the proposed fines and for what SpaceX has labeled a superfluous delay in approving licenses for Starship test flights. In its statement, the FAA said it seeks to balance spaceflight progress with the need to ensure commercial launches are safe. A record 148 FAA-licensed commercial space operations took place in 2024, up by more than 30% from the year prior. The FAA is committed to enabling the success of the U.S. commercial space transportation industry, ensuring the U.S. remains the preeminent commercial space country of choice and maintaining the industry's strong safety record, the agency said. Making a licensing determination in a timely and efficient manner is central to achieving these outcomes and requires a strong dialogue between the FAA and the industry. SpaceX has spent years developing and testing the Starship, which is classified as a super heavy lift launch vehicle and is lauded as the biggest and most powerful rocket ever built. The 400-foot vehicle features 2 components, the 165-foot Starship spacecraft itself and the 232-foot super heavy rocket it's perched atop. The Starship is due to play a pivotal role in NASA's lunar ambitions and future deep space flight in the coming years. Under NASA's lunar exploration plans, Artemis 3 astronauts aboard the Orion capsule would board the Starship while in orbit for a ride to the moon's surface. Musk also has grand ambitions of sending the first Starships to Mars in late 2026, the next time that Earth and Mars line up, followed by crewed flights in 2028. Environmental concerns over Starship. Environmentalists and watchdog groups have expressed concerns about the environmental impact of frequent Starship launches. What's more, many advocates have begun to worry that Musk's influence with Trump may lead to less oversight of the spaceflight sector. Musk, who spent more than $250 million to help Trump get elected, is set to be appointed to lead Trump's Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, a new advisory group tasked with downsizing government. Earlier this year, a New York Times investigation found that on at least 19 occasions since 2019, SpaceX operations have caused fires, leaks, explosions, or other environmental damage associated with the rapid growth of Starbase in Boca Chica. And in 2023, environmental groups sued the FAA over the explosion of SpaceX's Starship rocket on its inaugural test flight, accusing the agency of allowing the company to bypass important environmental reviews because of political and financial influence. SpaceX officials did not comment in the Times article, but Musk and his company have frequently lambasted what they view as false reporting about the toll its launches take on the environment. In a lengthy September blog post, SpaceX wrote that the company is committed to minimizing impact and enhancing the surrounding environment where possible. All 6 flight tests so far of the Super Heavy Lift launch vehicle have generally improved with each iteration. During the 4th test on June 6th, the Starship vehicle splashed down for the first time in the Indian Ocean after the first 3 tests ended in explosions. But one of the pivotal accomplishments this year for SpaceX came on October 13, when the rocket booster was able to steer autonomously back to the landing pad, where it was caught with 2 giant mechanical arms. Having the capability of catching the Starship booster is crucial for SpaceX, giving the company a completely reusable vehicle that is able to fly again. SpaceX called off an attempt to replicate the maneuver in its November 19 demonstration, citing unspecified safety concerns.